You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. If you're good-looking, Joe is looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance because you tune in consciously and conscientiously to the Joy of Living with your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. Now, notice I didn't say the ambassador of joy. The ambassador of joy. And we welcome you, and I am just saying, so humbled and honored that you're here. And more importantly, that you urge your family and friends to come and listen, because every month we're bringing in at least 25,000 to 50,000 new people listening to the show. And I ask you to share this with 5 people. You want to share it with 50 or 100, that's great, but just 5 at least, because right now we have over 525,000 people listening, and you share it with 5 people, that's why we touch 2.5 million people. And we want to grow. We want to be at 1 million within the next few months. And we're getting there because you're telling your family and friends, because the show is really about one thing only, the most important thing in your world. And that is you, Y-O-U, because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. That's why you're here. You know that we discussed the 3 fundamentals of life. And when you use these 3 fundamentals, the result is you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? So the first fundamental is, number 1, life. Your life has purpose. You lead a purpose-driven life. Number 2 happens. There's a good number 2. You go MAD. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym. It stands for make a difference. Lead a purpose-driven life. You make a difference in the world. And the third fundamental is to unlock the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example. Our show is carried over the internet. Ask anybody, what does www stand for? Invariably, it has to do with the internet. Factually speaking, they're correct. However, in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, www stands for what a wonderful world. And what is the word, right? W-H-A-T-A. And of course, a great song by Louis Armstrong, Satchmo, We Thank You. And that song, What a Wonderful World, has gone viral and not just touched tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet. And every time you hear the opening bars of What a Wonderful World, what do you do right away? You can't help it. You smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words that have been internalized, utilized, and leveraged in your life, because smile is an acronym that stands for seeing miracles in life every day. That's right, seeing miracles in life every day. Let me tell you a quick story. It's about me. Imagine, if you can, I'm standing up in the morning, completely healthy and hearty, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And that evening, I'm in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed from my neck down. And it was not from an automobile accident. It wasn't a spinal injury. It's a rare disease that took over my body and rendered me what's called a quadriplegic. Nothing in my body moved. I can only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was 2 years in a hospital bed in my own home, 4 years in a wheelchair. I had braces on both my legs, my hips, my ankles. That was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical and ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a tripod, not a biped. Can't walk up a stair by myself. Can't walk up a curb by myself. And I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. However, you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. All because of this one word. Smile. Now, I know that some people can say right away, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours where I haven't seen any miracles. And I ask them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can barely do that. Do you have water to drink, food to eat, place to sleep, family and friends? Every single one of those is a miracle. What's the proof? Simple proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're watching or listening, you didn't. Therefore, you have an obligation to live life to the full. We're going to talk about living life to the full with one of the greatest expositors of full living life, wonderful Raz Patel. In just a couple of minutes, you're going to embrace her and love her because she is energy unleashed. And you're going to really find some amazing nuggets here. So before we bring on wonderful Raz, I want to urge everybody to understand, do the following. We call it a shift in perspective. Now, when I work with people, I've worked with people more than half a century, and people come to me and on paper they look great. And then they start talking to me about the reality of their life. And what they've done is they drop the F in shift, and the other stuff happens. You got to keep your F's and F in place. You want to shift your perspective just a little bit, and then you can internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn. And these are: choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will determine your path in life and your trajectory. Now, before we bring on Raz to help us understand more of this, I want to warn everybody in advance, I do use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word because of the shock value and it's fun. Now, of course, the 4-letter words that we use, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, are love, life, hope, play, free, gift, swim. And the 4-letter FU word is fun. That's right, FU, capital N, capital N. Now, right away, some people raise their hand and say, Barry Shaw, fun's only spelled with 3 letters. Now, in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant is spelled FU, capital N, capital N. So after the show, you see your family and friends. I want you to have a twinkle in your eye, a smile on your face. Remember that stands for, point your finger at your family and friends, say, FU, everybody. But add right away, capital N, capital N. You got their attention and said, what's that all about? Then you can tell them all the amazing insights that you gained by listening to the joy of living and being with Raz Patel. So before we bring on amazing Raz, I just want to urge everybody to use the 2 most powerful words in English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life, because you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. These 2 words are thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. To harmonize and nurture kindness. KIND is a fabulous acronym. It stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. I can't think of anybody that want to share with you and inspires noble deeds more than wonderful, amazing Raz Patel. Raz, please say hello to 528,916 people around the world.
Hi, everyone. Thank you, Barry, for having me. This is wonderful. I'm loving your energy and I'm loving the audience energy. Thank you and love to everyone.
Well, you are going to be experiencing love from Raz. By the way, love, Raz, stands for living on vibrant energy.
There you go.
Living on the vibrational plane. So if I started telling everybody what this force of nature does, it would take the rest of the show. I'm going to give you 3 data points only. Number 1, as you can see, she's a personality. And if you can't see it, you can hear it. She's an actress. She's the host of the Raz Patel Show, which I hope to be on soon on Now Media TV and what's called Lumina LifeWorks. And she's a life coach. And really what I love about Raz is that we share this common goal of infusing the world with joy. So Raz, let's just jump right in and talk about a favorite subject that everybody loves, and that is failing.
Oh, wow. The pressure. Right on it. Okay. So when it comes to failing, Barry, we can talk about one of my favorite books that I've written, and it's called The Fabulous Fail series. And the Fabulous Fail series, which is on Amazon at the moment, it's all about my nuggets from what I have been through. And so obviously it's depicted from my oopsie moments in my life.
I like oopsies. So I want you to unpack 1 or 2 oopsie moments.
The bloopers, yes. So I'll give you one. One of my fabulous fails is when I had just gotten married. And, I thought, okay, I'm being cutesy and all. And you have to understand, I'm in college. I got married young, so I'm still young, by the way. And so when I was trying to cook, and mind you, I really thought I did a great job by cooking and whatnot. So every night I try to make themed dinners, whether it's Italian, Indian, Thai, you name it. So as a college kid, I'm trying to entertain my hubby and just living the life. So one day I happened to read the recipe and I made some Italian dinner. Pasta was great. And then I went to the rice and cooked that up. And my hubby comes in and so he takes a bite and he's like, okay, let's just have, I'm craving fries. Let's just go to Mickey D's. I was like, excuse me? Where we're going where? And so I was obviously livid and upset because, I dressed up in my wonderful dress and having a candlelight dinner and whatnot. And here he wants to go to Mickey D's for fries. So as you can imagine, that is not going to go well with me. So I took a bite. I was like, fine, I'll just take a bite and we'll do whatever you want. And I took it and I apologized to him as soon as I took the bite. And so when I thought about it, I cooked the rice by reading the recipe. And this is which we'll get back to later in the story, is I read the recipe and it said, fry the rice. And Barry, what do you think I did when I fried the rice? I fried the rice without cooking the rice.
Wait a minute. I love it. It's well, of course not. It says fry the rice, so I fried it.
And okay, so that just tells you that, I could have taken two options. I could have cried, yelled, whatever. And I was upset the whole night that I wasted all this time, but you laugh through it, right?
That's what I was going to ask you. Didn't hubby say, hey, honey, this is fine. It's okay. Did he not say that?
My hubby's a foodie. So he was like, all right, that's fine. And so I obviously immediately made it all cutesy, glorified. And I said, let's go, honey. I'll take you to a proper Italian dinner, which we did. And he was fine with it. And we just laughed and joked. And so it's become like the little joke between us and the rest of the world that, hey, you're frying the rice again, So in other words, calm down and just slow your mind, because what did I do? I was just rushing and I wanted to just do everything at once and make everything perfect. And that's the thing with the fabulous fails. You always want to jump 5 steps ahead instead of just calming your nerves and relaxing and thinking through. It's okay, first of all, that whatever you have in your mind and whatever you're going through, just relax, take it as it comes. And if you happen to make a mistake, guess what? It's okay. Laugh through it. Enjoy the moment.
Okay, wait, let's unpack a few things here. This is absolutely beautiful and genius and wonderful. So first of all, as you know, we have a worldwide audience. Worldwide means really worldwide, collectively. You just said we have people in Baluchistan and Nepal, in the Congo, and throughout Latin America.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, all over the world. We get notes and people love it because it's real. Human beings are the same around the world. Obviously, different conditions. The human condition is what you just said. The ability to live in the moment. Absolutely. And to be able to laugh in a calm way and say, okay, oops, and use it even as a calling card. Okay, it's the fried rice moment. All right, fine. It became that. Now, by the way, I'm going to interfere in your private life.
Please, please.
Still married to the same hubby?
Absolutely.
Oh, wait a minute. This is the best news of all.
And known him for 29, married for 27 wonderful years.
Okay, this is the best part of the story. Mm-hmm. You see, because like you said, married young, in college, that's not easy. You won't find that happening much today. And not only did you get married, you are still married. And the marriage, I'm going to say this, has not just weathered storms, it's grown in love and maturity and the ability to laugh even more and deeper. Is that true?
Oh, absolutely, Barry. And it's just because we treat each other like best friends. And that's what relationship is all about, right? Yes. It's how do you work through hardship? and how do you laugh through the hard times, and what do you learn from it, and what do you pack up through it. You're always trying to create building blocks from what the past has taught you and where you want to go in the future. But at the same time, what we do in our relationship is we live the moment. We live in our present. Because one of the biggest motto that I have is life is too short. Don't wait till tomorrow, and don't look in the past, look in the present. So that, and again, we'll go in a few minutes in terms of why I believe in that. But that's why our relationship stands, because we weathered so many storms and so many hardships. And in that hardship, as you mentioned, Barry, which you made a great point, is that many relationships don't last, whether it's friendships, whether it's marriage, whether it's parental, whatever it may be, is because we don't give a moment of pause just to say that we're humans and we can just learn from, again, our mistakes, I guess you can say. But those mistakes are just fun moments in terms of learning what to do next. It's your script for life that you're trying to rewrite each time.
So I love this because in the introduction, we mentioned that we like the 4-letter FU word, which is fun, FU, capital N, capital N. When you think of that, and has anybody said FU to you recently, Raz? And you just, right now you can just translate FU, you mean FUNN, fun. So let's talk about your great idea, the fabulous fail flip, as you say, why your biggest flop becomes actually a golden ticket to a joyful life. What do you mean?
Oh, what do I mean? So again, that's another one. And these are all books I had written from my nuggets, or should I say, like, moments in my life. And so the slips and so forth are just basically things that you do, whether at a young age or even now, and you just take from it and learn from it and move forward. One of the incidents that I'll share with you as a story was is when I actually, I when I was dating my hubby at that moment, and this is at Fisherman Wharf in California. Maybe I'm sharing a little too much, but it's
No,
very.
this is by the way, where did you go to school in California?
Oh, I went to Chapel Hill in North Carolina. So I went to California because that's where my hubby's from. And so I was dating him and I just went and visited. And of course, I'm only 18, 19 years old at that time. So
what a puppy.
Yeah, I was a puppy. Exactly. And so I was at Fisherman's Wharf, and of course, my personality is such, the type A personality. I don't like to be dared, and I want to outperform anyone and everyone. So yeah, why not, right? So now I'm being tested by one of his buddies that said that, because I was like, yeah, I have a lot of friends and my guy friends are always protective of me, blah, blah, blah. And I can take shots down, right? So I can take like 5, 6 shots. He's like, all right, put the money where it is. And of course, he gave me shots after shots, and I had taken 5
shots. By the way, everybody should know when she's talking shots, she doesn't mean needles. She means shots of whiskey.
Exactly. Yes.
They're not shots of crystal clear water. It's alcohol, liquor that makes you drunk and crazy.
Exactly. So
oh my gosh.
Yeah, so you know where this story is going. And this is Fisherman's Wharf. I don't know if many people have been to California Fisherman's, but it's insane, with thousands and thousands of people crawling all over the place all the time. And so I decided to, of course, go for the dare, right? Since my big mouth opened up and said whatever it did. And so 2, 3 shots, I'm fine. And then on the 5th one, I don't remember. And I'm just screaming on top of my lungs at the Fisherman's Wharf and going to the men's bathroom, whatever. And I'm screaming in the cab and I'm enjoying life and I love to dance. So I was just dancing all over every platform I could grab and just having a great time.
Tabletop Dancing by
That
Raz.
was me. And mind you, I don't mind doing it with sober because I can take a pause. But this is like what? And so, of course, my hubby back then, my boyfriend, was quite embarrassed. And then I woke up the next day, not knowing how I got to the apartment, not knowing what did I say, but at the end of the day, I was laughing the next day. I said, oops, I'm sorry. Because what am I supposed to do? It was my fault. I dared, and I should have like understood when to control my, my threshold, and I didn't. And you can't look back. You just learn from it. Next time, you
Okay,
just
wait a
try
minute.
a little bit less.
Let's put it on pause. Those of you who are looking and watching, you're seeing a beautiful woman. And so I can imagine her dancing on tabletops and so those who are listening, you can hear in her voice. We have sponsors that love our show. We wouldn't have them on if we didn't think they're worthy of your time and attention. We'll be right back with more stories from Raz Patel and tidbits for you to learn how to live in joy daily. Don't go away.
Hey, quick pause. If something you just heard made you stop and think, don't let that moment pass. Because that shift, that awareness, is the doorway to real joy. Barry Shore has put together a free ebook with simple, powerful strategies to help you live in joy every day. Go to barryshore.com and download your free copy now. Because one small shift can change everything.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved immortal beings, and good-looking people. If you're good-looking, Joe is looking for and finding the good. We found good in abundance. Our cup runneth over with good. Her name is Raz Patel, and she's dancing on tabletops, drunk in Fisherman's Wharf at the age of 19, and with a boyfriend who's still and is going to marry her and be together for decades to come with all kinds of great things. Here's the real key. She had a big flop, sort of. Her head was aching, and she realized, oh, okay, laugh about it. What can I learn from this? Isn't that correct? What
Yeah.
can I learn? Now, by the way, as a 19-year-old, I'm going to say bravo, because it's too easy to just say, hey, let's do that again. Or no, what do we learn? How do we use the flop to progress? Wonderful, Raz.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, let's take a step back, Barry. So, the reason these stories and these books were written is a little bit, and I will go back to my joy and why I find my life about sharing happiness and bringing smile to the world. And the reason it was written is because of my own situation. When I was growing up and I was 16 and much younger, I had a couple of tragic and traumatic moments. And in order for you to learn, my audience, that what it means is you have to understand where all this comes from. Why do I find joy in the little things, and why I tend to say it's okay in terms of the mistakes you make is because when I was growing up, I had two situations underhand. One, because I come from a cultural background and growing up in a very conflicted environment where you had to feel like you're suppressed and lose your voice, right? In terms of what can be said and what cannot. So you're silenced pretty much in anything that you did. And also, when you're growing up at that, you tend to have an extreme self-doubt and inferiority complex. That's what's built in, because at the same time you're supposed to outperform, and you're supposed to be this energy that is supposed to light the room, and you're supposed to be highly academic oriented, but you're not supposed to explain or voice your opinions or express any thoughts.
By the way, let me just put you pause a moment. I think what you are articulating here is not atypical for people around the world. A lot of people grow up in an environment that one at the same time says, well, we want you to succeed in life. And at the same time, don't tell us what you're thinking. Forget what you think. We don't care what you think.
Absolutely, which is quite conflicting. If you want to succeed in life, you have to voice your opinions. You have to voice your thoughts. And especially being a girl at the moment, or any woman, you're supposed to be the quiet girl, right? You're supposed to be silenced around people. Now, it's not that men don't go through, men do go through it, because men are taught to overcome their issues and burdens by just being the true man. You can't express your emotions. So
Not
all
expressing, right? Don't show emotion. On the
exactly.
contrary, hello. Good.
Yeah. You're a guy. Hello. Why are
Yeah.
you showing your emotions? Why are you crying? So these are the things that we kind of work, and especially in the US, when you're growing up, you're supposed to be the tough, you know, confidential and ego with great pride, and you're supposed to move forward with these type of lingos out there. But at the same time, you're not supposed to express your emotions. So growing up in that kind of environment, there was a lot of heavy downside to that, because I had to bring, I had to be top student, as at the same time I couldn't be me. The pivotal moment was when I turned 16 and I had a severe accident, and I was paralyzed instantly in a car crash, and I was on the passenger side. And imagine that moment when a little girl, her life is about to turn, about to go to college, and she now, in that split second, is lying in the stretchers and then in the hospital, not knowing if she's going to be coming out of life or death situation. I just remember, Barry, and I'll never forget. I'm sure you've heard from many folks that you might have interviewed that have gone through any traumatic experience, is that they go through this life death situation. So I remember when I was in that limbo, seeing the white light, and the light kept beckoning me. That white light, it's so peaceful, it's hard to describe, and you just want to be going towards it, coming to the light. And it kept saying, it's okay, just come to me, while I kept hearing in my back of the mind screaming and crying and screeching. So I wasn't sure what was going on. Then finally, I don't know if it was subconscious or conscious, but I realized that I was in the hospital bed, screaming. And then finally, after a few more days, I heard the doctor say she's never going to walk again. So when you hear that, it's that silence, that just that deafening silence that you hear. So now I have the silence that I'm being raised in, right? And then you have the silence that's paralysis. So it's the most traumatic feeling in the world, that you are just, it's over. You're a vegetable for life.
Let's unpack something. I want everybody to know, if you're not watching, you might know this. She's not paralyzed. She's not a vegetable. She's a beautiful, bountiful, beneficent, magnificent woman who's expressing to us what it means to go through dramatic, traumatic experiences and emerge even better for it. Is that true?
Absolutely. Thank you for summarizing that. And so when I had two options, Barry. Either I can just, as most people, we have two forks, right? We have the option of giving up, because that's what is in front of you, because you have no life left. Or you can choose to be in that moment, decide what you want to do that's going to improve your life. And a 16-year-old body, I had nothing else to do except imagine, kept imagining and visualizing how I'll go back on the stage and start dancing again. So here's the thing I want you to take is, when you think about something so deep, so hard, and you turn that into a consistent visualization of, and this graphic moment, and where you feel it, smell it, believe in it, picture it consistently on a daily basis, it becomes part of your life. And it becomes where you're actually living that moment. And that's what happened to this body of mine, where I started, Barry, each day feeling, okay, my ribs were first of all healing. So I could move a little bit. Then my left leg started tingling. So I felt my left leg. Then my right leg started tingling a little bit. That's when I realized the power I have is all up here in my mind.
Woo! This is so when she said up here, she's pointing to the temples. By the way, I'm going to mention to you something wonderful, Raz, and I believe you know. I want to bring it out to the audience. You said to feel it, visualize it, imagine it, and repeat it, because repetition is the key to transformation. Absolutely. Repetition creates transformation. She literally saw herself, but she felt it.
Yes.
It's called VVE, visualize, verbalize, emotionalize. So now let's talk about feeding the glow, as you call it.
Right. So when you're feeding the glow, what I mean is you're taking these series of steps, right? As you summarize so beautifully, Barry, is you first of all come to the point of grounding yourself in your thoughts, right? You understand that let's take a step back and think through what's happening with you. When I realized I was able to start feeling my body again, and that I consciously was giving myself positive reinforcement. Now, this is a 16-year-old. I can't label these things, obviously, right? I can think back and say, okay, this is what was happening to me. So just for the viewers to understand, it's not like, I had that understanding.
You weren't 33 with forward, et cetera, and being able to articulate it. You're a burgeoning 16-year-old magnificent plant who is doing rather than being able to articulate. Good. Okay.
Exactly. So that's when, if you look at that 16-year-old, and also, and of course I had in the past, I've have gone through many other tragic moments, but we'll just stick to this for now for the lack of better time. And it's that when you constantly take a conscious effort of visualizing and thinking and stopping yourself, that slowing down, that pause, you actually gain clarity in terms of what you want to do. Most of us, what we're doing is running in this rat race, running to the next step, running to the next goal, that we're not giving ourselves that pause, Barry, to reflect on what the next step should be, to reflect how to bring our inner self back to its stable baseline.
Woo! This is so beautiful. One moment. Feeding the glow. Is this what you talk about when you meet with CEOs and sports people and such
Absolutely.
like that? The ability to gain clarity by being in the moment and pausing.
Yes.
It's one of your great tips.
Yes, exactly. So because most of us, what we think is that it's and I'll tell you that when you're feeding in the moment, Barry, we have few steps that I want to talk about. First of all, it's the taking that pause button, hitting the pause to gain that reality, right? Then thinking through, because a lot of us, Barry, you've heard that many of us have 6,000 to 60 or 80,000 thoughts per day, right? And if 10% of that thought is negative, what are we doing to our body and mind? We're feeding
it. Yeah.
So if we take even that 10% of it and turn it into a quality thought process, what are we doing? We're giving ourselves that glow. We're giving ourselves that momentum to rise above our own hardship, our own mistakes, our own failure that we have compiled and labeled. That's what happens with these CEOs and leaders, is that they constantly run and keep thinking they're not good enough, that they need to achieve the next best thing, that I am a failure, that I'm not getting somewhere, that I am not good enough. But what are they doing? They're constantly repeating these negative thoughts, and they need to hit the stop.
Well, we don't do that here.
Exactly.
We get rid of now. I want to mention something to you.
Filter it out.
You've been pointing to your temples when you've been mentioning things. So I want to share with everybody. The brain, or you mentioned the mind, is your most powerful organ. Fair enough to say? The
Absolutely.
heart is necessary for keeping you alive. The brain is what's going to direct you. And when you point to your temples, what you're pointing to is called the prefrontal cortex.
Yes.
Now, there's two major parts of the brain we want to talk about. The simple thing is the prefrontal cortex which is basically your forehead area, as wonderful Raz pointed out to us. And there's something else called the amygdala. Now, by the way, I urge people, don't write anything down. Don't take notes. Just lean into the moment, because the reason we record this is you can go back and listen again. The winners go back and listen the second time, and they pause, take notes and such. And the real winners in life will go and listen a third time, because it's that juicy and wonderful. So you have the prefrontal cortex, your forehead. You have something called the amygdala. It's way in the back, but to the back of the neck. The amygdala has negative thoughts. It's filled with fear. No good. Prefrontal cortex is what Raz is pointing to, because she is filled with joy and love and power and glow. That's where you want to be.
Exactly.
Am I right on that? Am I right?
Exactly. Because see, the thing is, if in order for you to act, you have to think. What happens in your joy when you're speaking, and I loved what you discuss here, is that when we're talking about joy and we want to feel the joy, we want to feel the happiness, we always talk about, I want to be happy. I want to feel happy. And so we wait for that happiness instead of acting through the happiness. We want to move in our body to feel the joy, because we just wait. Okay, I'm not happy. I'm not satisfied. I'm not feeling the joy that I should. Why are you waiting for the feeling? That's why you're talking about the heart. Instead of helping with the heart, focus on your mind to say, all right, how can I act happy? What are the habits that will help me to move to the joy?
So let's talk about daily habits for living in joy. By the way, I'm going to share with you. Again, don't take any notes, anybody. Joy stands for Journey of You.
Absolutely.
That's what joy is. So give us 2 points, just 2, of how to live in joy daily.
Right. So one of the biggest things that I have learned through my own situation, and I had a TIA, which is mini stroke, is what I will consistently stress to all my leaders and all my CEOs, all my athletes, are that you have to give your life a balance. And that balance comes through nutrition and your daily habits of being positive. So if you feed yourself, you feed your mind with daily positive habits, and you feed yourself the nutrition, right? Think about it like this. And I consistently say this. When you're driving your Ferrari, are you going to put the cheap fuel, or are you going to give it the best fuel, the premium?
Premium. We love a premium life.
Exactly. Same thing. If you are going to be a high performing athlete or a leader, are you going to binge on junk food, or are you going to give it the nutrition that it needs?
Yeah. Bring on the good stuff, baby.
Yeah. And it seems simple, Barry, but there are obviously protocols to the nourishment. But that's one thing I will definitely let you know, is that because we get so busy in our daily life, we just kind of just take whatever's in our pantry, or just go and grab a sandwich. But we're not really thinking about what we're inhaling and what we're taking into our body. Is it really nourishing our body to help nourish our mind, and then ultimately nourish our heart?
I want to unpack something here. The reason people tune in consciously and conscientiously to this show is what you are sharing with us right now, Raz.
Mm-hmm.
We don't graze. We don't go into the pantry and just pull out something because I'm going to eat. We want to be thinking beings. We want to ingest things that are good, that are positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant to us for the physical, spiritual, and mental well-being. Yes?
Yes, absolutely.
Woo!
100%. Yeah, and just remember the Ferrari analogy. Stop giving it cheap fuel if you want it to run for a long time.
Yeah, because each person, this is where it comes, by the way, and we're going to go to commercial break in just a minute. This comes with the ability to see yourself as a high performance vehicle. Absolutely. Too often people will look in the mirror and start thinking negative thoughts and projecting them and seeing themselves as a broken down 1993 Volkswagen bus. I don't know, something, as opposed to the high performance vehicle, a
Right.
Maybach, a Ferrari. I happen to like a Maybach myself. And that the ability to know that that engine is going to be fed with the best possible ingredients. And that's why we love Raz, because she is the person who enables that high performance vehicle to find expression in this world. So before we come back to you, we're going to go to a quick commercial break. We got more Raz on the other side of this break. Don't go away, because she is rewriting your script so you can be the best possible you. Be right back after this brief message.
Hello, skincare connoisseurs. If you think you have tried everything in skincare, you are going to love what I am about to tell you. I'm pharmacist Benjamin I. Fuchs. I'm a dermatology pharmacist. And what I've discovered in my compounding pharmacy after decades of working with patients with skin traumas and skin diseases is the missing link in skincare is topical essential nutrition. And because of this missing link, we're not maximizing the potential of topical skincare. We're leaving skin beauty and skin health on the table. And that's why I formulated my Truth Treatments. Listen, the skin's an organ. It needs and wants and craves nutrients, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, fatty acids, and plant-derived minerals, and now it can get them in super high concentrations in my Truth Treatments. Originally formulated for dermatologists and their patients, now they're available to you. Check them out today at truthtreatments.com, and I know you are going to love the truth.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe good-looking. She's always looking for and finding the good. We found good in abundance. Her name is Raz Patel, and she is talking about running that Ferrari with the best premium, and that's who you are, not just your physical being, but your spiritual being and your mental well-being. So let's talk about something that you like to mention called rewriting the script. And you speak about, because you've been in TV and film and such like that. So these things run on scripts.
Yes.
How do you rewrite the script so that when you do look in the mirror or you find yourself in a situation you want to project the best you, how do you rewrite that script and not think of yourself as an onion?
Well, when we think about writing the script, Barry, we think of it as the monologue, right? It's that dusty monologue that's sitting somewhere, and it's just building cobwebs. Are you going to keep pulling that monologue out even if it's not working for you?
No.
Absolutely not. So what do? You rewrite that monologue, rewrite that script that will actually give you the powerful tool to run your life. So that's what we mean by rewriting the script, because everyone has that opportunity to say, my life needs to be in this direction. And this is what my framework and my blueprint is going to be. So just like I write my script, that's going to work for me. So I am elevated and people are watching and listening to me. It's the same thing in your life, that you want to write your story. You're the director, the writer, and the producer of your life. And no one should have the ability to tell you otherwise how to handle your life and how to move forward.
So look what Raz is doing. We have over 532,000 people right now that are listening to you, leaning in, and she's telling you each single person here is empowered to write their own script. It's what I call the American mindset, Raz. Everybody wants to live in America. You don't have to physically live here. What you want is an American mindset, which is rugged individualism and yet living in community. And we have a community of people who are here to raise up the energy of the planet into peace and love and happiness, because you are in charge of your own script. I think you'd agree with that. Is that correct? That's what you're saying.
Absolutely. And while you're in charge of your script, give yourself the joy that you're looking for. Because whenever, Barry, we are working tirelessly, we're not finding that opportunity to make ourselves happy. For example, when I'm exhausted or I'm having panic attacks or I'm having anxiety, most people would just push it. that signal. They don't understand that body is telling you that you need to give itself some fuel, and that fuel is the self-care that you need. For me, I love dancing, so I just stop everything and give myself that moment where I can just get up and dance and live that. I did that today, and even before coming on this, because I didn't want to have that anxiety of, oh gosh, Barry, with the 500,000 people that are listening to me, I need to just dance and get all my jitters out.
Yes.
Yeah, why not? So, and then you feel alive, you feel more energetic. So when I talk about giving yourself that joy, it's more about what can you do that's not giving you the ROI, the wealth or whatever it may be. It's more about giving you the time, giving you space to live your moment. That itself is the biggest ROI for that you could have ever done for yourself. It's the gift of your self-care, right? For example, whether it's reading a book, right? Or writing a book, or watching TV, or being with someone you care, those are the special moments that nothing will ever come back to you. So
Okay.
give yourself that gift and just dance, right?
Dance when I have love is laughing out loud.
Laugh out loud. Yes, absolutely.
By the way, Raz, during the break, I came up with an acronym for your name. Can I share it with you?
Oh goodness. Okay.
Raz, R-A-Z. Ready?
Ready?
Radiating awareness zestfully.
Oh, can I use that? I am definitely going to.
Is that not you?
Yes, absolutely. Thank
Raising
you.
awareness zestfully.
Beautiful, beautiful. I love it. I'm going to use it.
It shows I got it because you channeled you, and I was able to write it down. I just looked at you and said, wow, look at this amazing being that you're sharing with the world. I urge everybody, just share this with 5 people so we can touch over 2.5 million people, because these tips are so vital for you with recognizing that you are a special being. See, this show is not about Raz, wonderful, amazing being that she is, not about Barry, fabulous fellow. It's about you, Y-O-U, you becoming the best you. So Raz, I'm loath to say these words that I'm going to have to say now. We're coming to a close in our time together. I have 3 quick questions for you. Are you ready?
Sure.
Number 1, will you come back again?
Oh gosh, I was just thinking, when can I come back?
Ooh, thank you. Number 2, Raz Patel, you have only 80 seconds to answer this. What is your most fervent desire?
To come back and share the next moment in my life with Barry. Sure.
Well, you better tell that to your hubby.
Oh. I'll invite him as well. No, I think my biggest desire is to just see the smile in everyone's faces. If I can do that, I won. That's it. I love bringing smile to everyone, and that's my biggest gift. If I've made one person laugh and one person smile, my day.
Smile stands for seeing miracles in life every day.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. So number 3, may I give you a hug in front of 529,811 people around the world? Let me tell you what hug stands for. Ready? Heartfelt, unlimited giving. 1, 2, 3. Remember, you're listening to Consciously, Conscientiously, the joy of living with your humble host, Barry Shaw, the ambassador of joy, with amazing Raz Patel. And what have you been doing today? You tuned in because you understand the 3 fundamentals of life, which will make you happier, healthier, and wealthier. Number 1, your life has purpose. That's what Raz taught us. Your life has purpose. You lead a purpose-driven life, you go mad. Mad stands for make a difference. And the 3rd is unlock the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms like WWW. What a wonderful word. World, smile, seeing miracles in life every day. As my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles in everyday life. Create the kind of world you want to live in, like Raz does. Create that world, causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. And what you really want to do is use 4-letter words. Remember the ones that we use could live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant. Love, life, hope, play, free, give, swim, and tell the world to F you. But remember, add right away, capital N, capital N. When people ask you, say, what's that all about? Say, well, I was listening to Barry Shore. He had Raz Patel. Let me tell you how to live in joy daily. Remember to use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day, consciously for now and the rest of your life, because you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So Raz, from you and from Barry, let's give everybody a blessing. And the blessing is, go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love. Go mad. Go make a difference. Raz, don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.